any sister, mother, daughter, whenever she applies the vermilion or the Sindoor, she will always remember the soldier. You need to always look at what the other side is thinking and how this chess is going to get played. Our target was the nursery and the masters. Our forces were always prepared for a conventional operations. Ground forces were actually playing chess.
आपकी आवाज को सुनने आ रही है प्रभात खबर इलेक्शन एक्सप्रेस। देखते रहिए प्रभात खबर इलेक्शन एक्सप्रेस।
आईआईटी मद्रास में अपने संबोधन में जनरल उपेंद्र द्विवेदी ने ऑपरेशन सिंदूर की तुलना शतरंज के खेल से की, जहां हर चाल सोच समझ कर चली जाती है, लेकिन दुश्मन का अगला कदम हमेशा अनिश्चित रहता है। उन्होंने कहा कि यह एक ग्रे जोन ऑपरेशन था, यानी पारंपरिक युद्ध नहीं था, बल्कि ऐसे सुनियोजित और बहुआयामी कदम जो युद्ध की रेखा पार किए बिना ही दुश्मन को भीतर से कमजोर कर दें। इस रणनीति में जमीनी कार्रवाई, हवाई हमले और तकनीकी ऑपरेशन, तीनों मोर्चों पर गतिविधियां एक साथ चल रही थी।
Since Op Sindoor, you may be actually saturated by seeing the TV and the parliamentary debates. So I will not spend much time on that. I will say how the technology came into play. But certain things important. 22nd April, you're aware what happened in Pahalgam, and it actually shocked the nation. 23rd is the time when next day itself, we all sat down. And this is the first time which RM has also said, I think enough is enough. And all the three chiefs were very clear, something has to be done. And the free hand was given, of course, that you decide what is to be done. And that is the kind of a confidence with the political directions and political clarity for the first time we saw. And that's what made a difference, because we want to do a lot, but that kind of hand-holding and kind of free, no terms of restrictions, if I can say that. And that is what kind of raises up your morale. And that is how it helped our army commanders or commander-in-chiefs on ground to kind of act as per their wisdom. Of course, then 25th, we visited the Northern Command, as you're aware, that is the place where we thought, planned, conceptualized, and executed the 7 targets out of the 9 which were destroyed, and where a lot of terrorists were killed. 29th April, of course, was the time when we met the Prime Minister for the first time, and thereafter, next day, of course, why I'm telling you this? Because it's important that how a small name, Op Sindoor, connects the whole nation. And I was telling director also that when he briefed me on this, he said, okay, we'll have this name Op Sindhu. And I thought it is Op Sindhu. Sindhu is basically Indus River. So I said, excellent, sir. Indus Water Treaty has just been frozen by you. He said, no, it is Op Sindoor. And just see, this one name has connected the whole nation together. And today people are saying Sindoor to Sindhu. Everything we have taken care of. But that is something which galvanized the whole nation as such. And the soldiers per se, because when I went on ground and I told them that, look, any sister, mother, daughter, whenever she applies the vermilion or the Sindoor, she will always remember the soldier. And I think that was the connect. And I think that was the connect which they brought the whole nation together for one cause. And that is the reason I think the whole nation was saying, why have you stopped? I think that's the question which was being asked. But of course, that has been amply answered by. So the strategic clarity was in dime. That is diplomatic, information, military and economic. And that's why you see that the IWT was frozen. Then High Commission strength was reduced. The defense personnel were moved out. Persona non grata, they were declared. And visas were revoked. Because when you go for such kind of offensives, what happens? You need to always look at what the other side is thinking and how this chess is going to get played. So what we did, we created a red team. So this time what we did differently, as far as Uri, you are aware that it was 2016, it was a shallow thrust, and it was launch pad we were looking at. It is basically to convey a message. As for Balakot in 2019, we were looking at penetrating through J&K, going across to training camps which are in Pakistan, and again a kind of giving a punishment. But this time I think that is Pahalgam 25, it was wide and deep where we hit the heartland. This was the first time we hit the heartland. And of course, our target was the nursery and the masters. And like I told you, and this has never been done, and even Pakistan was not expecting that the heartland will be hit. And that's what came as a shocker to them. But were we prepared for it? Yes, we were prepared for it to absorb the blowback which will come up. So finally we chose 5 targets in Jammu and Kashmir and 4 targets in Punjab. and out of which 2 were with the Air Force, because the kind of ammunition which was required was much more. And it's such a long range, if you have to send it, then the options are either with the Army, Navy, Air Force, long range weapons, or with the Air Force. So we decided to go with the Air Force, and it helped us because thereafter all the kind of, if I can say that the rebounds which were taking place or the blowbacks which were taking place. But what is important, it was a new normal. It was a new normal where our forces were always prepared for a conventional operations. So though we were trying last 1 year that what is grey zone and what is multi-domain operations, but people were still not ready for it. But this is the time that our ground forces were actually playing chess. How many were going forward? How many were staying back? How many were moving somewhere else? So this kind of a chess move was there. So in this chessboard of 64, something was visible, something was not visible. And something which was not visible, maybe other countries may be helping out to kind of make them visible for the adversary. So the force, if you have to kind of look at force orchestration for a military man, it comes in 3 forms. And all these 3 forms you will play a role. Firstly is the force visualization. How he is going to employ his force, how am I going to employ his force, how it will be 2nd day, 3rd day, 4th day, 10th day, 15th day, because you don't know. Because this test match stopped in 4th days. And it could have continued for 14 days also, 140 days also, 1400 days also, we don't know. So we have to be prepared for those kind of things.